Gamers, it's your boy Josh, and today we have Zenless Zone 0 3.0 and 3.x news. That's right, the dev talk for the new Zenless Zone 0 entire season, starting in the summer, is starting now. We are getting news about Season 3 now, and it's coming in the form of a dev talk, which we know these dev talks are very, very illuminating to show us the outlook of what the devs have been working on. Let's jump right into the action and see what we can expect in a whole new look for Zenless Zone 0. Yes, sir. Let's jump right into it. So I'm so excited about this one, folks. This one I am very, very excited about. The Dev Talk Season 3 outlook. Let us go. Wait, hold on. Before we go do anything, pause. Was that a new poster? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's such a cute poster. I got this poster, which is the Orphe and Seed poster. It's super, super cute. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the Angels of Delusion one right there that they're showing. Oh, it's going to be exciting. Ooh. More merch, baby, more merch. We love it, we love it. Insider Scoop Special Edition. Very nice. Let's take a look.
OK， 大家好，欢迎收看本次节
Hello,
目。
welcome to the program. I'm Payne.
在2.7版本，我和大家一起经历了
Took time to experience brand new chapter in the main story. Let's see if some of the designs have been well
接下来呢，我也
received.
想对我们后续的剧情做一些。
Maybe in Asia they've been well received, but in America, I'm not gonna lie, they haven't been too happy with the designs. But I mean, I guess that's more just like global being a little bit more nagging Nancy's. Yeah, I don't know. They hate Promea. They do not like Jshoea as much. I mean, you know, contrary to what people think they say, like literally, like nobody's talking about Jshoea because like no one has anything good to say about Jshoea, which is so sad. She's such a cute little snake. But I mean, hey, but I think over in Asia is a different story because Promea is really, really big. Billy not as much, and then in America, global, Billy gets a little bit more talk. So we'll see. I'm very intrigued because the sentiment around the game is very much different in China or in Asia comparatively to global, aka the Western audience, right? All right, let's take a look. We're going to the main story. Ever since the showdown with Bringer, dormant power hitting with the proxies is slowly awakening. After an unexpected encounter with the creator, power slowly inching towards the edge of our control. As a special matter to help with the situation, became the protagonist's latest goal. But after Erlian, how tool? Wow, we're watching too much tip to tip. Or is this just a chance encounter? Has she already uncovered the secret hidden in the proxy's eyes? And how much does she know? All these are not what we're going to talk about today. Yes, I wouldn't expect them to do or reveal anything story-wise, which is fine. I'd rather the story reveal itself in the actual game. So, yeah. But it's good that they're addressing it because they want to hit these points, right? Oh my god. Whoa. The power that's been hidden inside the Phaethons all along, or what we call the legacy of Helios Academy. Okay, we've kind of known about that. Yes, sure. Will officially make their appearance to everyone. Is that like the battle version of Sunbringer? Like, what is that? Will make its official appearance to everyone in the form of an etheric other pyrosis. Pyrois, I think is what they said in the CC, but I don't know. Slowly surface to make their way to Faith in the storyline. Okay. Yes. Yes, this photo of us as little youngins, very, very interesting. They scratched out all the other like characters' faces and stuff, so maybe we might see them pop up. Who knows?
慢慢来到法厄同的面前，可能有熟
You
悉
can
的
involve
人，
some
也有不熟悉的
familiar
人。
faces or even
在
just
第二季的
complete
尾声，
strangers.
空洞英雄大赛的背后，
As we draw
各
to
方势力的
close
图
in
谋也
Season
渐渐
2, the
成
Hollow
熟。
Champions
有
competition.
黑之的裁决官
There's the
罗尼亚，
Krampus,
有
Judge
治安局的
Promea,
西西弗与塞维里安，
Cecilia,
当然也有
Severian,
行踪成谜的拉米尔，
Ramiel,
以及自称来
Felina,
自
and
马塞
Norma,
尔
who
集
claim
团
to
的
be
维
from
琳
the
娜与
Marcel
诺姆。
group.
当然，各位细心的绳匠
Okay.
可能已经注意到了，维琳娜与诺姆在 2.7 的结尾所提及的另外一个势力——罗斯凯利法。
Roscaelifer.
这个
Excuse me,
名字呢，其
Roscaelifer.
实
Actually, the name
在
has
更
already
早
been
期的
mentioned in
故
the
事当
earlier
中
part of the
也已
story.
经有所提及了。
Right.
在第3季的故事当中
Right.
呢，我们也将在维琳娜与
Right,
诺
we've
姆
talked
的邀
about
请
this.
之
We
下，
talked about
正
this.
式来到这座
The
隐
hidden
秘的天
city
空之
in
城
the sky.
帮部们的
Yes.
理想
The
乡
Bamboo
空域
Utopia.
机密特区罗斯凯
Classified
利
as
法。
Airspace
这里
Zone
呢是一座由
Roscaelifer.
晚宙女士所统领
Okay.
的邦部与人类
Okay.
和谐共处的
Well,
梦
it's a
想之
dream
城。
city for
同时呢，
Bangbus.
它也是一
Wait,
座
wait, they said it's a dream
在
city for
旧爱丽都时
Bangbus
期就
and
已经作
humans
为
to live
机
in
密特区
harmony.
独立存在的避世基
How
地
is。that different from New
从这个概
Eridu?
念出发，我们会更加优
Because
先
we
的去考
technically
虑一
also
些模
live
糊
in
的
harmony
体验
with
感，
Bangbus, or unless
为罗
Bangbus
斯
have
凯
a
利
little
法
bit more
定下了一
autonomy.
种怎么说呢？
knows?
从感受上可能像是温暖的旧日感这
It'll
样一
be
种
somewhat of
情感
a
方向上的基调。
warm nostalgia
我
tone.
们希望它不仅仅是一种视觉风格上的呈现，更多的是当大家在这座城市里漫步的时候，一种整体的氛围感。在我们的设想
In our
当中呢，
vision, it should be
它应该是一
a
个
warm
温
and
暖
tranquil
而
place.
宁静的地方，
Okay.
就像是某个夏天的午后，你和
Interesting.
你的朋友
Like
们
a
或者和
warm
你
summer
的帮部
afternoon. I
朋友们
mean, it's going to be
在
very
公
hot
园
in
里
the
的某
summer,
棵树
so
下。围坐在一
you
起
know, having something
分
that's a
享
little
红
bit
茶，
more
分享
bright
点
in
心
colors, I think
大
it's
家
pretty
有说
fun.
有笑，微
We've
风
had a little
吹
bit more
过，然后
muted
可能树叶
tones
落到
going
你的红
into
茶里，类似于
New
这样
Coast
的一
Summit,
个情
although
景。
there have been like really like
这个情
cool
景
looking
是我们
places.
最初在和美
Things
术
have
以
been a little
及
bit
策划
more,
同学沟通的时候
I don't know,
构建起的第一
muted
个
in
画面。我
tone.
们也觉得它是一个最能代表
When,
罗斯凯利法
especially when
整
we
体
go into
氛
like
围
the
基调
halls.
的一个
Oh my
基础。
gosh, what is
我们
that?
会从这个
The
点出发去
bamboo
构
has
建其他更多的东西。
long legs.
那么在这
What
之
is
后，
that?
其实第二个问题就出现了。当绳匠或者说我们的法厄
Okay,
同第一
so
次
maybe
踏入这座
Sunbringer's
天
been
空之城
tinkering
时，
around with the
他最先
bangoos,
感
and
受
maybe
到
they
的
actually
应该是
have
什么？是
limbs.
怀旧，
So we'll
是
see.
惊奇，还是那些
Oh, they
奇
were
怪
drawn
或
with a
者说有
quirky,
些
unique
独特
bamboo
的
lifestyle
邦
and
布礼仪？
etiquette.
出现了，我们现在
Right,
其实有很多
right.
我们想了
I'm
很久，
very
但是
intrigued. Okay, so
最
they're
终决
leaning
定为
into
大
the
家呈现出来的
bangoos
是一
in
种
season
熟
3. I'm
悉
very
却又陌生的感觉。
interested.
我们希望绳匠所熟悉的那
Very
些，
interested. I didn't
不
think
管
that
是
was
情感
the
还是物
necessary
件，还
direction
是
we were going
一
to
些
go.
OK 生活
But
上的一些痕迹，
man,
我们希望他们能够以一种
I
承载
mean,
着
the
具体
city
的
concept looks
时代
really
记
cool.
忆
Look
或
at
者
this.
说
It's so
生活
cool.
质感的那种
Like the
复古的
concept
元
is
素，
so cool
以及
looking.
一些能够奠定
But
整
I'm
体
very,
长远
very
基调
just
的。
thrown
我们
off
说
by
的
the
它是一
bangbus having
个
legs. That's
空域
weird
机
to
密
me.
特区 OK，所以我们希望它有一些
That
天上
is
的
a
故
little
乡
bit
这样的感觉。
funky.
在这之后，视觉的转化
After that,
就
the
有
visual
叙事的依
change
据。
has a
拿
narrative
物件举个
foundation.
例子吧，我们
Take some
的美术
objects.
团队像这
Our
样选择
arts
了一些
team designed
复
some
古未来风格
hovercabs
的
and
悬浮
double-decker
出租
buses
车
to
以
blend
及双
in
层
with the
巴士这
retro
些
and
比较具象的
futuristic
物件，
style.
用它们构建
Just
出了
has
一
a daily
个
ambiance that is
复古但又有
retro,
一定科技
yet
感的日常品牌。
technologically savvy.
当然，我们的设
Yes,
计也
that's
不
what
只
we
是这些
love.
静
That's
态
what
的
we've
东
come
西
to
啊，
love
我
about
们更希
zenless,
望它
the
能够成为一
retro and
个
the futuristic.
火起来的故事，
Yes.
它能够承载。
With so many gacha games out there and so many characters to grab, it can feel overwhelming. Trust me, I know. Well, that's where today's sponsor comes in. Aniba. Aniba is the best place to top up for our gacha faves. All we have to do is put in our UID, region, select your package, and in no time flat, we're back in business. And the savings are pretty sweet because depending on your region, you can get upwards of 60% cash back. And Aniba's amazing Trustpilot rating, you can top up with confidence alongside 24/7 customer support. They're here for us, folks. With 30,000... I'm sorry, seriously? Dude, that's nuts. Well, 30,000 digital products and growing, make sure to sign up to Aniba with me so that we can start saving you more cha-ching. Click the link below to let Aniba know they sent you, and thanks to Aniba for supporting the channel.
说到这儿呢，
Speaking
我
of
想和
which,
大家
allow me
分
to
享
share
一个
something
比较有
pretty
趣的例子。
interesting with
大
y'all.
家可以看屏幕上呈现
As
出
you
来
can
的
see
这
from
个
the
叫做
screen.
公共帮部充电
Ooh,
间
they
的
have a
设施，
bamboo
以
charging
及里面这
scene.
个
Yeah,
别
we
具一
saw
格
that
的充
earlier
电
in the
座。
sketch.
这个设计我们
They have
现在
freaking
看起来可能会觉得
mopeds.
它有些跳脱，
Yeah,
但
Yeah, these
我认
are
为它
a
恰
lot
恰是属于
more
我们想体现的
upscale
那
than
种
just the
独属
charging
于罗
port
斯凯利法
stations
的独特生活感，
in New Eridu.
还有着
So,
罗斯凯利法独有的那种
you know,
幽默感
yeah,
以
they are
及针对
treated
帮部
much
们的一种
more
温情的感觉。
humanely
我们
in a
希望它
sense,
是一个
it's
专属
like
于
a
帮
place
部
where you
的
shine your
类似于
shoes
复古
almost. It's
科
kind
技
of
这样的
cool.
一种感受。
Yeah, I like it.
那么我们有时候也会想，像
So
这样
wonder
一个
sometimes
小
if the
小的充
influence
电
of
座，
a
它的
small
影响会
charging
不
dock
会
like
已
this
经
could
超出了罗斯凯利法？
spread
在西
amongst
爱利
the
度
borders.
是否也能寻找到它的
Now,
影
could
子
we
呢？
find traces of it in New
那
Eridu?
么，比如说像
If
在
you're
西爱
observant
利
enough,
都
you might
在巴拉
realize
大厦内，如果大家有
there's
注意到的
something
话，里
similar to
面
that
其
in
实
the
是有
Valley
类
Twins.
似这样的设施的，
The
就是这些帮部
porcelain
坐在马桶上的雕像。
toilets?
我们认为他们的灵感可
Their
能就
inspiration
是来
probably
自于罗斯
came
凯
from
利
the
法中的这样
charging
的充电
docks
座，
of
有可能
Roscaelifer.
大厦的主人曾经偶然见识过这套设施，然后邀请艺术家重金复刻，然后它甚至可能会成为艺术界的某种潮流或者话题。我们只是拿它举个例子，我们希望罗斯凯利法的更多的一些物件、一些设施、一些氛围感的东西，我们希望他们也能像这个样子，通过任务，通过大家在故事当中、在主城当中漫步的一些氛围感的感受，希望他们能够与西安利都之间建立起这样那样的联系，成为大家能够体验的一些故事的碎片。我想借此说明的是，就像我刚才所说的，罗斯凯利法岛上的一景一物，不仅他们将与大家未来体验的故事紧密相连，我们更希望的是他们能够在罗斯凯利法以外的地方，比如说西安利都的各处，大家能够找到与他们呼应的东西，与他们有关联的东西。最终呢，我们希望罗斯凯利法能够成为一个既与绝区零的整体的潮酷美学一脉相承，又能够与西安利都融为一体，凭借这种独特的血脉相承，让罗斯凯利法。
Okay, it's almost like of a European vibe. You guys get that? Like a European or Eastern, American kind of vibe, which I mean has a lot of, again, European theming and architecture. Yeah, it's very European to me, which I think is really, really cool.
能够成为一个既与绝区零的整体的潮酷美学。
And like this reminds me of like low key, like a little stock exchangey type of vibe, and then it's a very cool subway, like almost like a Harry Potter-esque type of subway, but featurized. Yeah, this is cool. This looks sick, dude. You got the lounge, reception hall. I can't see what it says, like the staff area. So this does seem to be like a bank. The CCD. Yo, this is sick. Yeah, this is all relatively new stuff. I don't know if it's actually going to be, that particular, but I mean, hey, maybe this is just like the Marcel Group.
一脉相承，又能够与西安利都融为一体，凭借这种独特的叙事设计，让它在绝区零的世界观下，
storytelling quality to it.
独一无二的
Zenless Zone Zero's worldview is one of a kind narrative design. I would agree. I'm very excited to see what they get into. City and combat.
我是小玉。
All right, this is what a lot of people are excited about. The combat.
这里的生态和系统，
We'll break down the ecosystem. Okay, here are all kinds of quirky and fascinating shops lining the streets. Okay, the roaring breckies.
在这里呢，
Yeah, they say brekkie in the UK, right? Dude, okay, this place is just European themed, UK themed.
但在坐落于贝克福德街的片刻闲中，特制
This
型号的
place
天然
deadass is European
将为
themed.
玩家带来别
That's
具
cool.
罗斯凯利法特色
That's
的
cool
小
because
卡
we started off
同样能为
American
神
themed,
将
right? And
人
then we
去
went
散
to
行的获
China
得
and
匹
now
配
we're in Europe.
此外呢，还有像是面包店、爵士吧等这
Interesting.
种
They
特
got
殊
bakeries,
独特
jazz
的
bars,
店
and
铺 坐
other specialty
落于
areas.
在
Actually,
城
it
市
might
各处，
low-key be
供
New
玩家
York.
自由探索。
It might be like New
将被一
York,
个新的系统
Chi-town.
所
Like
承
there
载
might be some
不联邦终端
inspirations from
你
there.
可以将其理解
More
为
so
罗斯
than
凯利法
just
帮部门的
The
通用
UK,
网络。
but I mean, hey.
这套系统将贯穿整个主城，还有整个战斗区，辅助身为
This is seeing the
非本地
protagonists
人
who
的
aren't
主角
exactly
们和
locals
也
to
一起深度参
dive
与
deep
帮
into
部
the
的
Bangu
交流
network
网络，
alongside EOS.
发掘城市中的
Uncover hidden
隐
spots
藏
along
秘
the
密
city
区，
and
探
explore
索
the
各
hottest
个区的热
happenings
点事件，
in each
收录
district
城市内
and
的
collect
角色
character
档
Bangu
案。
profiles
在
across
第
the
三期
city.
内，不联邦的
Okay.
内容会逐步开放。
Collect
随着玩家
character
账号
Bangu
权限的升
profiles.
级呢，
Interesting.
不联邦终端还会为大家
And
提
Taboo
供
Terminal
战
wants
士
to be
的
a
成
function
长
as
体
a
验与丰富的
portal
回
for
馈，帮
progress.
助玩家揭开隐藏在罗斯凯利法背后的人文故事。同时呢，
Meanwhile, a
全
brand new
新帮
Bangu
部
themed
主题玩法
gameplay mode
也会
can
随
come
着
from
一场意
unexpected
外开启。我们将
accidents.
和新代人
Oh,
朋友
minigame
一同
mode, you
前
say?
往唤醒帮部，和帮部一起提升
Ooh,
能力，
leveling up their combat
一起
prowess to
应
tackle
对
all
各
kinds
种
of
挑战。
challenges together. Oh, it's a
随着
permanent
玩
Bangu
法故事的
combat
深
game
入，
mode.
神将们
Is it
会了解到更
Just
多
like
的
the
帮部
mech
故事。
game mode?
在唤醒
And if
并
so, then
找
I'm not
回
very
越
happy
来
about
越
that.
多
But if
的
it's like
小
a
帮
whole
部
new
们的
thing
过程中，
or a
还
whole
可
new
以
like
获得开
inspired
启秘密
thing,
基地的
that'd be
特
cool.
殊
Like
赠
a
礼。
Brawl Stars type of
更多
thing.
的
I
细
think it
节
might cool.
还请先允许我卖一个关子。
Yeah,
各位
we'll
神将
see.
们
We'll see in
请
the other
拭目以待
special
吧。
programs going
而
forward.
在
So
战斗
I'm
区
not.
里面，我们
you know.
还投放了更
Oh,
多
let's
更
pause.
新的
Actually, let's pause on that. Let's go back here. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the posters. We see some of the posters. We see the, I believe, up in the top right. That's the Sons of Caledon, and then the poster on the right and left here is like a black-haired girl and a purple-haired girl. I don't know who that is. That might be new. They got Nekomata down here. I think that's Nekomata. Godfinger arcade machine. I think, if they actually have like a arcade machine to actually buy, that'd be crazy. Also, I need that Zenless Zone Zero sign. Like right here, I need the Zenless Zone Zero sign. ASAP Rocky.
更多的细节，还请先允许我卖一个关子，各位玩家们，请
Yep, they
拭目以
blurred
待吧
out some of the stuff, but we can see some of the other things like figurine in the back here. We can see, is that a Squirtle? Yeah, I have like a Squirtle figurine. That's kind of cute. They have, oh wait, that's an Aranara. That's so cute. In the bottom right, that's an Aranara from Genshin Impact. Oh, that's cute. Aw, okay. Cute. I love it.
在战斗区里面，我们还投放了更多更新的怪物
We've dropped
机
even
关
more new monsters and
它们将与
mechanics
场景
blending
深
with
度去
deeper
结合。
exploration
在第三
areas
季
in
的
Season
故
3
事当
story.
中，我们
We
将
also
会遭
encounter
遇
a
一种
special
名为
environmental
解离
phenomenon
基
called
点
the
的特殊环境
singularity leakage.
现象。
Okay.
它的出现
This
会
presence
将
wraps
小
the
范围
fabric
内
of
的
space in a localized area. Okay,
现
we've
实
dealt a
空
lot
间
with space
短暂地
shenanigans.
变为与空洞内相似
So,
的环
briefly
境。
transforming an environment similar to a hollow. That's not a hollow. Okay, interesting. Lore drop here. The singularity leak. So it is like a small domain that is not of a hollow, but like it's like a small area.
会将小范围内的现实
Simple
空
domain.
间
I don't know. It's not
短
really
暂
simple
地
domain.
变为与空洞内相似的环境。
Okay, interesting.
这里
Within the areas, there are
有
intricate
错综复杂
pathways
的
and shifting mechanisms.
变化的机关，它会带来
Bringing a whole
全
new
新的
experience of
探索与
exploration.
战斗的体验。在这种和
Such
空洞
environment
极
similar
为
to a
相似的环境
Hoyoverse,
下，
corrupted
各种侵蚀
beings,
体以及我
as
们
well as
的
our
老朋友
old nemesis
遗骸
Ethereals would
自然也
naturally
会出现
appear
这种现
too.
象的出现
And the presence of the
到底是
phenomenon
偶
is
然
just
还是
coincidence?
有人在背
Or
后
is there
操纵
someone
刻
deliberately
意为
pulling the
之
strings behind
那
the
就
scenes?
留着
The
后
answer will
续
be
的
waiting
故
for
事
you
当
to
中
discover
由
the
玩家
story
们
to
自行
come.
的探索吧。
And I think
在探索
overall, like what they're setting up here is a little bit more experimental in terms of, you know, something a little bit out of the ways of what they had initially planned, especially, you know, from the reception that they got from 2.x. I'm sure that the generalized story was going to be there, but I think the execution is starkly different from, you know, a year or 2 years ago from what they were already starting to plan out, right? Development for these games take a year or two to actually realize this stuff. So by the time they were already launching 2.x, 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, they were already writing, you know, going in the writers' rooms, you know, imagining these things out. I'm very curious with all the feedback and stuff that they've gone throughout this past year. How has that really altered the trajectory of what product we're seeing today? Very, very curious. Especially when it comes to hollow exploration with these singularity leakages.
过程中呢，法厄童本身具备了黑客技术，
We have
也
more
将得
areas
到
of
更
utilization
实
for
际的应
hacking
用及体
skills.
现。在
Now, I'm not gonna lie, the hacking thing, there's a difference between what we had with the HDD TV system and like hacking skill stuff. Let's say the Marcel group stuff or the Grand Marcel adventure stuff when we're able to traverse the little, you know, mini routes with the Bang Boo, and then like the little puzzles for hacking. Like that stuff arguably is, I don't know, very, very elementary to me. So when they mean more areas of utilization for hacking skills, it better not be Yunkoi Summit like, ooh, I can like use one R skill and then make everything disappear type thing. Like, I don't think it was received that well. Personally, I didn't receive it too well. It wasn't something I was like, oh wow, this is amazing, right? Nor was it something that was like detrimental to the quest, but understandably, especially for the lore heads, were like, in like the span of 30 minutes of a quest, we figured out how to freaking use, you know, use like Yunkoi Summit, you know, aura powers, whatever it is, but just like, I don't know. So they got to be very, very delicate with how they approach this stuff, because I think introducing it in such a blasé fashion is detrimental for the game. The more that they're intentional with the mechanics, the more it's well received, right? The better, like they don't have to introduce that much stuff. Just be very intentional, and the many creative ways that you can use like one gimmick, I think is really, really good.
特定的情况下，操纵场景内的多种科技造物，或是在
Utilize
EIC 的
certain
协助
special
下，利用某种
transportation
特殊
tools
的
with
载具
EOS's help.
抵达某些平
You get a freaking jetpack for this guy? What the heck? We're getting freaking jetpacks for this
时
guy?
不可抵达的秘密区，都将成为神
That's
将
kinda
在第三
cute.
季中的探索的全新手段。
Okay.
在掌握了前面
Also,
阿
once
汤老师
Proxy's
提到
mastered
的
the
以太一体
etheric
后
other. Sorry, what? Special movement methods of the etheric other. the freak?
手段，在掌握了前面
That Peng mentioned earlier.
太一体后，神像也将会解锁更多在场景中
also unlock more special
行动探索
tools
的
that can
特
be
殊
used for
手段，
exploration.
敬
Look
请期待。
forward to it.
这便是罗斯凯利法。
This is Roscaelifer, a place waiting for you to step in and write your own story. Interesting.
剧情场景相关的内容
Okay, let's take a small little pause. We see the Arya Mindscape back there. Very cute. We see the Yeshengwang Mindscape back there. We see some of the figurines. I love the TV setup. Some little trinkets here and there. Let's see if we can spot anything completely new. We got a Miyabi thing. We got some controllers, more TVs. Nothing crazy new. All right.
我是 ZK。
ZK. Also constantly pushing forward, working hard to bring you fresh updates and an even better experience. I will agree that the fresh updates, I think they do a good job of like always trying to keep you guys engaged, even though it's like a quote unquote, you know, filler patch. Oh, there she is, the Vortex. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. Let's take a screenshot of that. It is confirmed. The wind element. They said it here. This is the first time they said it. This is the first time they've officially said it, I think. Don't get me wrong. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. This is the first time they've officially announced the wind attribute. Let's freaking go. I mean, here's the thing. All the leakages, all the, leak consumers, you guys were ahead of the curve. That's, hey, good on you. Do your due diligence if you want. But like this genuinely, I think is going to shake up the paradigm of zenless in a way that I think in the last like 6 to 8 months, we felt like we've kind of stagnated a little bit. And especially since Rupture in itself wasn't that well received, as you guys know, in my sentiments as well, Rupture is like a 1.5 version of Attack. Wind hopefully will bring something genuinely unique, kind of like how Dendro did with Genshin and how it was implemented into the elemental system pretty well. I would say I have more confidence in them introducing a wind element than a class, if anything. And in terms of classes, and you guys know my stance on this, I would love for them to rework defense into something different, right? If they were going to do any class work. But as far as a wind attribute is concerned, I'm very intrigued to see how wind not only interacts within itself, how it creates its attribute anomaly, how it interacts with blooms, disorder, stuff like that, wink wonk dink donk. But is there potential with other elemental classes, right? One class or two classes specifically that I really want them to highlight is fire and electric. Fire and electric have been so slept on in the whole meta of 2.x, right? We see flashes of, electric here and there because, there's Sambi and Seed and Sacia, but like literally it's been physical and ether all the way. It's always been physical. It's always been ether. I really want them to cycle back and see what we can do with these other elements, because then it will highlight some of the older characters, which I know a lot of people have been not too happy with a lot of ice characters being out of the spot. So exciting. It is a soft reset button on how the meta is dictated, and I think that's this is an incredibly important opportunity for them to capitalize and be like, hey, it's okay to hit that small reset button. Let's rework and let's readjust our scope from here, right? Let's realign ourselves and see, how we can better balance this game. Steady implementation of enhanced older characters. Yes, we've talked about this before. Proxies can look forward to enhancements and mechanic improvements of already released characters. We've already been talking about Rina, Kaleda, Juyen, Caesar King, potentially Yanaki, right? And even as they reworked Sambi quote twice, we could even see some other characters like Ellen Joe kind of got reworked twice already in Sammy too. But we could see these other characters get touched up upon again. I think that would be very interesting. When a boss you're familiar with unleashes a new finishing move, it might make a new combat experience even more thrilling. Oh, older enemies with newer attacks. I think, that's what they did in, I think, around like 2.2, 2.3-ish, when they introduced some older characters with 1 or 2 new attacks. I think that's going to be really, really exciting. And of course, having to factor in wind is something also really, really important for them to consider as well, especially with older enemies. How's their iteration direction? Honestly, boss rush, I love it. The Hollow Zero boss rush that they did the other week was so much fun. So much fun. Now, I don't need a boss rush every week, but if they can do something of that nature, really, really, really cool. Right? Bring in more different types of settings and situations from those types of recurring game modes. You know? I think it would be fun. As for the events, we keep redefining our approach. We continue to roll out interesting gameplays that capture the authentic city life vibe. The Hot Pot event has been incredibly well received. I thought the Hot Pot event was pretty good. Like, as far as like a small event, the Hot Pot event was pretty solid. Yeah, I do more. I do more of it. I would love to see them like implement more like real to life stuff. Like NTE has Mahjong, right? I would love to have like a Mahjong thing. Ooh, photo event. I love it. Nice. I would love to have, you know, an NTE Mahjong. For Zenless Zone Zero, I don't know what that would be. Maybe like a Pac-Man or something, or like, you know, because again we go to retro vibes. So like I think Pac-Man, Tetris, these other more retro type of game modes, I would love to see. Love to see. No, we'll see. Or if anything, the Bamboo event game mode could be like, not Fist of the North Star, that's an anime. The Dragon Fist game, like the combat game, if you guys know like the retro fighting combat game like Dragon Fist something of that nature, let me know down in the comments. Like you guys probably know better than I do, but like there's like a combat game, it's like a Street Fighter like 2D game. Yeah, where you like fight mobs, and it could be the same thing where you apply Bamboos. I think it'd be so much fun. It'd be so cool. Obviously, just tossing out ideas, but anyways, they've been tossing out a bunch of random crap. Just talking about the charm of the new area. So, version preview and closing remarks. Here we go. From the unique scenes in a new city area, Roscaelifer, and the comprehensive evolution of combat, gameplay, and characters. This is the vision that we laid out for Season 3. And I think they've pretty much nailed most of the points, right? They've nailed combat, they've nailed the city environment, which is incredibly important for world building. They mentioned the lore and the story, which is going to be much more integrated, hopefully, that they've been starting to flesh that out and prepare us for the new storyline. I think that's going to be good, especially with 2.8. Really, really important that they set us up well. And then combat, how they approach not only the character side of it, but the environment side of it, because this is PvE, right? How they address the player side and how they address the environment side. We'll see. Wind is going to be exciting, but there needs to be a balance.
周年庆便是其中的一个。
是的，在第三季集市的叙事节奏上呢，我听阿唐老师说，我们要进行一次非常重要的。
And for paying, there's going to be super important optimization or mind elaborating. To ensure we provide sufficient context and basis, as well as fleshing out and developing every character, we'll be structuring the version narrative focus as such. Firstly, as the opening of new season version 3.0, whoa, we provide Poxy with breathing room to unburden themselves. What? Sorry, what? What does that mean? Also, this confirms that not Norma, Valina is going to be our 3.0 character, which is cool. You know, I think they've set up both Norma and Valina to be our first introductory characters, and introducing the Marcel group is going to be a really strong start to 3.0. So, but what do you mean by break? The long goodbye and fully explore the new playground Roscaelifer. The second charm of the city. So, are you saying that 3.1 is literally just filler? Because it's going to be the anniversary. Kick off season 3 with its first major narrative climax. Where we witness the turning point of the island's fate together. We'll track down Rando's whereabouts in 2.8. Okay, I'm going to uncover more clues about Helios Academy, as well as a brand new etheric other ability that the protagonist will attain in Season 3. Okay, wait a minute. I love this. Okay, so the eye power, we're calling the etheric other. Interesting. Okay, so it'll develop into that new power. Okay. Okay, the outlook is interesting. We're gonna have a season 1, part 2 act. That's gonna be a huge arc, and very much to how, and this kind of reminds me of Genshin's Fontaine. Genshin's Fontaine had 2 parts to them. They had the first arc, which was the whodunit, with Lyney and Lynette, us versus Farina, right? They had that in 4.0 and 4.1, and then 4.2 and 4.3 was a different arc in the intermediate arc, and then also we went into the Fortress of Merpeed. That was really shitty, but I mean, or in the overarching grand scheme of the story, I get it that not everything's gonna be a hit. And then you went into 4 and 5, and boom, climax, amazing Fontaine, beautiful. I think that if they follow that structure, right, we have 3 strong story arcs here, both part 1 and part 2. I think it's gonna be pretty well balanced. I think, yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty well balanced. Let's see how that manifests itself. The track record's already proven, right? Again, like I said, with that kind of Genshin style arc. So very intrigued. What was your guys' standout point of this dev talk? Let me know down in the comments. For me, the introduction of wind officially has to be definitely one of the big standouts. Some of the lore stuff as well. I know you guys don't see me as a lore person, but I love to just, through osmosis, kind of learn about the world more, right? So hey, shout out to all lore folk. And exploration. The city for me, and I know it's kind of weird to say that like combat wasn't a highlight for me, but like the city and the world building, that also needs to be really nailed, because if people don't feel immersed in the world, they're not really going to feel immersed in the game throughout. So it really starts with how they set the stage. It's going to be really important. Okay. Very excited to see what we have going on, and join us for the 2.8 special program on Friday morning, I believe. Yes. And shouts to Niba. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this video. But more Zenless Zone Zero coverage for 3.0 to come, folks. If you guys are excited, come join us over on the live streams. See you guys in the next one. Peace. Woo! That was a good one, baby. That was a good one. Woo!